as a young person, I need good and quality education and support from my parents and whoever is related to my school education.
Lo que quiero para mi bienestar ahora es un país seguro para mi familia, para mí, para mis seres queridos.
I need to have access to free sexual reproductive related services and the available youth-friendly healthy corners in our communities.
My dream in life is to have a successful career where I am in a position to help others and make change.
I think as young people, we don't want to stop. We really want to talk about our rights and our opinions, and to be able to get platforms where we can really voice our concerns is the biggest thing that can happen to us.
Our goal and our wish is to have more young people in decision-making processes. Unfortunately, we have a very low participation of young people in these tables of decision.
Hola, mi nombre es Nico Gómez, tengo 23 años, soy síndrome de Down, soy deportista de largo rendimiento. Vivo en Bogotá, Colombia. Mi sueño es ser campeón mundial de mi país, de para natación. Quiero pagar mi seguridad social, tener independencia económica.
Hola a todos y todas. Espero se encuentren increíblemente bien el día de hoy. Wow, this is a huge moment for me. I and many of my peers had been advocating for years that young people need to be properly heard. Not just given opportunities to speak, but actually properly heard, which means policy and investment decisions being led by the people who are the most affected by the outcome. And here at the launch of the 1.8 billion young people campaign, we can see the real impact of this advocacy work. Today, we will meet young people from all across the world who are taking ownership, building power, and pushing for change from within their communities to a global stage. We will get to understand the evidence that underlies the gut feeling that we absolutely need investment right now on a much bigger scale for adolescents' well-being. That is what the 1.8 billion campaign is all about. 1 year from now, in October 2023, we will hold the Global Forum for Adolescents, the biggest global gathering of young people ever. Today, we will learn how and why to engage in setting this agenda. From now until then, we will push for our seat at the table in global meetings. We won't take tokenism. It is not accepted. And let's get creative while we do it. We are so powerful when we speak up together. And this can only grow by all of us here today, calling on as many people as possible to get involved. We already have people joining us from all over the world. This map shows where everyone is on social media. You can see where I am here in Chile, Santiago. You can see who is online in Jamaica, Scotland, Madagascar, all over. There are Instagram filters on the PMNCH handle for Reels and GIF sticker library. It's a cool way to connect with each other and show the amazing work that we're doing in our own communities. You can share this right now by searching for PMNCH or 1.8 billion and add them to your reel. It's nice. right? Let us know your ideas too for spreading the word further. This is our campaign. Let's make it the best it can be. It is critical that we have the hard evidence as to why our societies should invest more in young people's well-being. We have worked with young leaders and partners to publish an adolescent well-being collection, which is a series of academic papers in the BMJ, which will launch this week. We have a sneak preview of the headlines these papers will cover. Let's hear from the young leaders who led this work.
Hello everyone, I'm Daniel, and I'm here to share with you new evidence that shows exactly why we need more attention and more investment in adolescent well-being. Now, we all know that campaigning needs strong facts to back up our voices. So now, for the first time, the BMJ, a leading academic journal, has released the first of a two-part collection on adolescent well-being. The best bit is that young people's views are at the heart of the series, so let's say hello to my fellow incredible young researchers who took part in this important work.
Hello everyone.
Now, we asked for your questions on this series and put them to our young research team.
It is understood that every government has to balance what they spend their money on. However, we do know that for every $1 spent on adolescent well-being, there's a return of $5 to $12 because if young people are healthy, educated, and have access to opportunities, they are much more likely to contribute positively to society. In this vein, governments can not only save money, but can also yield higher returns on their investment by making the decision to invest in young people today. That being said, it is necessary to note that the most important reason for investing in adolescent well-being is that this is their basic human rights. And as such, it is the duty of governments to plan for, support, and address adolescent well-being.
There are 5 domains of well-being that mattered to young people. Number 1, good health and nutrition. Between 2003 and 2015, adolescents accounted for 11% of the global burden of disease, but they actually only received 1.6% in terms of development assistance. We are calling for more financial investments for young people. Number 2, connectedness and community. Having a sense of belonging, good social, mental, and emotional support was linked to better health outcomes. We're calling to strengthen community and connectedness for youth worldwide. Number 3, safety and support. In 2018, 1 in every 3 girls between the ages of 15 and 19 suffered from a form of physical, sexual, or emotional abuse from an intimate partner. Unfortunately, we know that the pandemic made this much worse. We're calling for a safe environment, free from harm and violence, so we can live a life free from fear. Number 4, education and employment. Globally, 1 in 5 young people between the ages of 15 and 24 is not in employment, education, or training. Unfortunately, this is twice as likely to affect young women than young men. We're calling for all young people around the world to have access to school or training, especially girls and women, so that we can be financially independent, have control over our futures, and contribute to our communities. And finally, number 5, agency and resilience. We know our needs and rights, and we know how to advocate for them. We also know that what gets measured gets counted. So we are calling for stronger systems for accountability to measure progress, and platforms for our voices to be heard.
The Adolescent Wellbeing BMJ collection was co-written by young people,
which is pretty key given that the collection built on technical papers to promote adolescent well-being. It was particularly important to have voices from the Global South because all too often research is produced in the absence of these voices. Beyond being involved in the writing itself, young people were consulted to determine the priority themes or domains of a BMJ collection. All in all, young researchers had the opportunity to share their expertise about issues that mattered to them.
Climate change is already affecting our lives, putting at risk our physical and mental health and well-being, and exactly how it does so is covered throughout the series. We also focus on how health communities are in a unique position to tackle climate change, such as through evidence generation, net zero healthcare efforts, but also crucially by collaborating with adolescents on advocacy on how climate change is impacting their well-being.
Thank you, fellow researchers. This series has been 18 months in the making, and we are so delighted to be launching it now, especially because we know there's a force for change right here with us. So whether you're speaking with your head teacher, member of parliament, or president, we hope you can use this evidence to campaign for adolescent well-being. We can't wait to hear how this is being used, so let us know. There's so much more information on the campaign platform at 1.8.org. Thank you.
Thanks, Danielle and team. That was a brilliant overview of this huge project. You know, this series is the first of its kind, and now we can use this evidence as knowledge in the 1.8 billion campaign to find new ways of working with governments. And this is what today it's all about. We're kicking off the campaign today, which marks 1 year until the Global Forum for Adolescents next October 2023. So let's hear more about what this forum is all about.
The 1.8 billion Young People campaign is hosting the Global Forum for Adolescents in October of 2023. This will be the biggest global gathering of and for young people.
We will have 2-day virtual program to share, engage, and act.
From now until the Global Forum, we're bringing together the voices of young people from all over the world.
We are writing policies based on our views.
And we're taking our demands to local, national, and global decision makers.
We are sharing what works.
With more commitment now for adolescent well-being, we will succeed.
So let's all get involved
and make your voice heard.
And share what you want for your well-being by scanning the QR code to add your voice.
Be a part of the Global Forum for Adolescents.
Connect in your community.
Rise.
Unite.
Lead.
This is really, really exciting. And the more we get involved, the more ownership and power we will have. Make sure you sign up on the campaign platform so we can connect and show all the ways you can work on setting the agenda for the forum and engage and share in the advocacy work from now until then. This is all about building on the brilliant work that is already happening and inspiring young people to get them involved in their own advocacy in their community. Let's hear now from 4 incredible youth leaders, Sonia from Kenya, Marisa from Mexico, and Shukti and Kakasha in India, on their journeys and the impact their work has had on their communities, and of course, peers.
When I started to volunteer for OAY, I was really new to the field of CSOs and NGOs and humanitarian work. Through the series of trainings, I think I've really grown in the advocacy world. I feel like my voice is being heard, especially when Kenya was transitioning. There was elections, so there was leadership transitions. Just being able to approach leaders and talk about their manifestos, just requesting them to add adolescent well-being into their manifestos, that really felt good. That felt powerful. I feel like the government is listening, especially now more than ever. They realize that the population of young people in Kenya is very high. People below 35 years is 75% of the population. So I think more than ever, they are focusing and listening to the young people and the adolescents, and it's a good move.
In our state, there was this law that in Mexico they used to refer to as PIN parental. What this bill was trying to do is that it was trying to make parents able to limit the access that their children had to sexual education. And here we had a lot of frustration. There were no panels asking 12-year-olds, do you want sexual education or not? There were only panels asking parents of like, yeah, sure, I want to have the control of my children's education. So I think that this was an example of youth coalitions working, because we were able to get 30,000 signatures from young people saying, we don't want this. We were able to mobilize. We were able to get contacted by people from Congress telling us, hey, they're voting at this day, at this time. They're not saying it. I know they said they were going to do it next month, but you need to come right now. From that, we went from a bill that was decided was going to pass because the agreements had already been made, something that did not happen. And in later discussions with people from Congress, they told us, yeah, like we had never seen something like that. When something is agreed, it usually happens, but you show that the political cost of going against young people's rights was too high.
What is the thing like touch my heart is that seeing the girls from my community to like come forward and acquiring spaces and owning spaces like I do. That's the motivation I came from. And we learn about consent in life, healthy and unhealthy relationships. We talk about HIV, we talk about STDs, which is not normal to talk about. This is the one major thing. This is my learning, to be very honest. Accepting my marginalization, knowing my identities, knowing that a lot of people is like holding my power. They're not giving me, but they can't like take away my voice. I have voice. They can't take away my experiences because I believe in lived experiences. You come from your lived experiences, and that's how like I'm navigating life and my work, and I'm being honest to my work and being authentic to my work.
To be able to have youth-led consultations, youth-led article writing, youth-led advocacy in general, I think the YP Foundation really let me do my thing. And no one really came and told me what to do. They just said, you're a young person, we believe you have the responsibility and power to do it. So as long as a young person is given that authority to be able to do whatever they want and to have the freedom to have, no judgment, to be able to really talk about their experiences and stories, because the most conversation, the most empowering things come out of stories. And listening to stories from people from every background and every community really gives you an idea of what exactly the situation in our country is.
Thank you so much to each one of you. What inspiring stories. Each one of you shared the power you hold and how much we can change when we don't accept the status quo. I just know there are so many people watching this who are thinking they have a story to tell, or they are ready to make that story happen. It's so good to hear from you all. Please add your voice on what you want at the link in the chat box or at this QR code. If you're under 25, we want to hear what you want. If you're over 25, we want to hear how you want to support and mobilize young people to take part. Our potential is massive, and in this campaign, we are reaching high. We have incredible support from global leaders and powerful partners. So, I believe we absolutely can achieve what we want. And now, let's get out of our seats and shake it off, as Taylor Swift would say. I am delighted to introduce the Wild Wild Women, coming to us from Mumbai, where they are flipping the script as a collective of young female rappers, graffiti artists, and break dancers. They are unreal. Welcome, Wild Wild Women.
Thanks, Julieta. We are here in Mumbai and we are super excited to be a part of the 1.8 billion campaign.
We need to be involved and speak up for our own well-being. That's why we came together as Wild Wild Women.
We are all here to stand up against social injustice and inequality, and we have to fight for our rights.
We are here to make a lot of noise! Yes! We hope you love our track Game Flip. This is Wild Wild Woman, and that's how we do it!
Yo, what's up, it's Wild Wild Woman. Back with the banger, back on strangers. Show it to the world if you got in yourself. This ain't a fame name game, well, yeah. Need no favor, cause I got the flavor. We gonna reach the top, don't try to stop. Ready to flip the game, don't try to play with this, cause we ain't the same, yeah. What? Choose people who choose you, not the one who wanna abuse you. Sanda poda barriya, it's Wild Woman gang. Edaragala mother, vetti pechi vena inga suma poda the scene. I'm a J Queen, machi Mumbai to Chennai, nama feel it. MC Pep in the beat, all the tarmare. Hashtag pretty. Only males in the side, but I'm nowhere near fear. It's a race we catching pace, no competition, that's a cheers. Yeah. We are what they worship, so we had to reappear. Yeah. It's a wild game flip, don't you dare interfere. Yeah. You build strong, cause you day strong. Yeah. Make you ready for some peace like a billabong. So we got it down, the way we jot it down. But try with the crowns is what I found. Own your power, take a face, yeah, we speak up. We will roll for the woman who can't keep up. Saase chale jab tak main ladne wali tab tak. Aasha thi jo ab tak se chote sare rag par. Sawal ye nahi ki kaun aag de. Sawal hai ye kaun jo hame rokenge. Aaj hai wo din tu bas faisla kar. Peak is the destiny, pakad dagar. On this break beat, we break free, breaking the stereotypes and judgments about me. The need of the hour, we're gonna live to empower. Rise up for what you believe, turning the tables, this is your part, can't you see? Taking over this town, this is a game flip, yeah, boy. Sing me for the first time, didn't find me sooner, cause I got no ass and titty pics and bro style. I've seen you objectify, looking past judgment. Only thing capable of saving you, see, I cut the covenant. So pray and hope for a miracle, cause all my girls original and lyrical. I'm taking that two-faced cynical charging from the Mariana, swelling up a tsunami and your first hit. I'm losing count, drinking down fatigue. Trying not to lose the grips we have on our lives, keeping the sanity in sync with the minds of 1,000 revolutionaries. I don't know about you, but that's me. I don't always need alcohol to speak a sober mind, and we don't need a thing to prove that we are wild, wild women. Above your negative schooling, different homes with skin clothes doesn't ruin. We're proving this is a game flip. अच्छा सुन बात सुनने को टाइम नहीं सिर्फ मेल में तारा का फम नाई करते हार्ड हसल देख कब तू व्यूज भाई माझ्या सोबत बाई गैंग माझी आई आली चले चांद तक ना माल चाइना हमारा बड़े एक साथ लेके बाल वुमेन का सहारा चीर फाड़ करते बात से ना रखते हम हथियार समाज में ते झुके अब चलते सीना तान के सप्रेस करते सारे सुप्लेक्स देते हम ना रोके कोई इशारा अब चबा के च्युइंग गम सिर्फ नाम ही है काफी वाइल्ड वुमेन सारे हम इट्स अ फीमेल गेम फ्लिप नाउ योर टाइम इज डन दैट लेके गन सी कलम देते हम सारे हेडशॉट स्ट्रगल किया बहुत अब करते सारे काम सॉफ्ट नए फ्रेश बार्स लेके बाल विमेन आई आज नाम मेरा महिला आज के बाद रखना याद On this break beat, we break free, breaking the stereotypes and judgments about me. The need of the hour, we're gonna live to empower. Rise up for what you believe, turning the tables, this is your part, can't you see?
I loved that energy. We need more incredible voices like yours all over the world demanding our rights. So thank you so much, While We're Women. We can't wait to hear more from you. This is where it's at, folks. Get involved and take action. Thank you so much for joining us today. I can't wait to continue this journey with you all. Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao.